New Sentry 17 merchandise is out now. Click the link in the description to get yours today. Alright, what's going on, guys? We're here. We got the teams tier list pulled up. We're here on Sentry Live. Make sure you guys are going Saturdays at, well, today it's 4 o'clock, normally 5 o'clock. Make sure you guys are there. Updated the tiers a little bit. We got the elite, we got the greats, the mids, the meh, and we got AAA. Just teams throwing a AAA squad out there. And today, we're going to be doing this a little bit different. Normally, I go through A to Z every team, start with the Diamondbacks, end with the Nationals. We're changing it up today. I'm going to go tier by tier. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up as to what teams I think belong in each tier. Now, there's not going to be many teams in the bottom tier because we're starting there right now. I'll name them off for you. A's, I'm going to put there. White Sox, I'm going to put there for sure. And from the naked eye right now, those are the only two teams I look at and say, wow, they're running AAA squads out there. Not good at all whatsoever. A's more so. I mean, there's not really, that order doesn't matter. White Sox, a little bit more MLB talent on their team. Not much, though. They sold off a lot of guys. Other than that, a lot of the bad teams got better. I will put the Rockies in the same tier. Rockies are kind of, not very good either. They're just a weird team. They don't have a low payroll, but they just don't have money in the right spot. So those three teams, if I ever have to make changes, I definitely will. Those three teams are really the only ones I see right now as AAA squads, really, really bad. With good reason. These rosters are terrible. A's especially, but all three of them pretty bad as well. Let's head up one to the meh tier, and we're talking about right now. It's a difficult one. I'm gonna start with the Guardians. I think that this roster just is not great. They could be good, but especially now that they're definitely going to be selling off pieces, they're just not looking like they're primed to be very good this year. However, I could be completely wrong. I think Francona is gone as well this year, so let's see how they fare with that and how it's going to be. Let's go to the Royals. Are not AAA anymore. They've added MLB talent to their roster. I think it'd be premature to put them anything above meh right now. So starting off with some AL mid teams here in the meh tier, not the mid tier. The Pirates, I actually like what the Pirates have. I think that they're kind of the bottom of this meh, top of the AAA kind of tier. They've got talent on their roster. They brought in some, mostly not great, but definitely some young studs on their team. Definitely more so than these three. So I would put the Pirates just a little bit above them. They're definitely worse than these two teams, but they're definitely better than these three teams. We're kind of in a weird kind of in-between-ish area right now. The Nats definitely go in this tier. I don't think they're AAA. They have some young talent as well, but until they actually put it together and put wins together, I can't give it much of a grade or anything like that. So that's where I'll put them. Okay, I'm going to do it. Marlins are going in the meh tier. I'll put them at the top just so that you guys are not, it doesn't really matter. The rankings in them tier doesn't matter. The Marlins are not a good roster. It's not. Like, they have so many underperforming guys, especially in the outfield. Jazz Chisholm might be the most, plug your ears, the most overrated player in baseball. I get it. He's got flair. He's got pop. He's fast. He's a good athlete. A, he's injured. B, when he's not injured, he's nothing super special. He's like a mid-sevens OPS at best. I don't think there's a ton to like about this Marlins roster. Their pitching is good. Sandy is out for all of 2024. I think that this Marlins team, as of right now, is rightfully going to be put into this meh tier. So we'll pop them there for now. As far as that goes, I think that's all for the meh tier. I think so. Let's hop to the mid. So as far as mid, no, hold on. We missed one. I'm going to put the Brewers in meh. They haven't sold off Burns yet. I don't think they're AAA squad. They probably will be by the start of the year, but as of right now, it's not quite there yet. So we'll put them there. If I miss any of them, I'll just put them there. I don't really care. Heading to the mid. We'll start here. Red Sox definitely belong in this tier. They added Giolito. I believe that was yesterday. I think so. Last night. Hefty contract. Almost $20 million a year for him. I mean, I know he's been good in the past, but the last couple years have not been good. But they add to their rotation. Hopefully he plays that ballpark. We'll have to see. They're good. They're in a really tough division. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. That's the thing. I think they're kind of the brink. They're kind of that fringe team that will not make it, which is sad. They've got some good talent. They got good young talent on this team. It's just they trade away Verdugo. It felt like a not win now move. So I think that that's rightfully where they belong. I think this Tigers team has a chance to win their division this year in the Central. They've added to this team very well. 2 good pitchers, Flaherty, Maeda. Added Cano, who's just a solid major league player. Just wherever he goes, always solid. That team's not bad. They got good young talent. I like this Tigers team. I think they have a strong chance of winning their division, and I think that this mid-tier is where they belong. They finished off the year last year pretty well. They had good performers. Torkelson hit 30 homers. Like, there's guys taking steps. Riley Green will be healthy hopefully this year. There's definitely a lot to be hopeful of for this Tigers team. Moving on from that, I don't think we can put this Padres team any higher. I wouldn't put them in great. They've lost some this year. The end of the year at, I think, just at 500. They weren't as terrible as we thought they were going to be. They should have been better. They had a lot of talent on that roster. I understand, but I think that this mid-tier is kind of where they belong right now. I think the Twins are mid. I don't think that there's much special on this team, and they lost Sonny Gray, their Cy Young pitcher. They have Pablo still. They have Bailey Ober. They've got guys. They really need to add another superstar to this team for me to love this team. Like, it's almost like I'd rather them have Luis Ariz right now than I'd rather him have Pablo Lopez, which is probably an unpopular opinion, but it's almost like that's kind of what they need. It's kind of what they're missing. A lot of home run strikeout guys, not enough guys who can get on base for them, I feel like right now. They're not a bad team. They just won their division, but there's not a ton special about this Twins team to me. Let's move on. I think the Mariners for right now deserve to be in here. They added Garver recently, last week or so. That's really all they've done. They've only sold off players. Other than that, they finished right around this mid-tier record. They just missed out on the playoffs. I think they actually might have finished with 90 wins in the past couple of years, but they've gotten worse this offseason, I would say. I think that they have gotten worse this offseason, and they're just missing out on people. We'll put them, just so people don't get mad, I'll put them at the top of mid. I wouldn't describe them as great, though, because they weren't even in the playoffs last year. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put the Reds into this tier for right now. They've added this offseason for sure. Nothing that's boosting them into great. I think they could win their division, but the Central divisions are just not very strong right now, which is why I think that they kind of belong in this mid-tier. The Cubs, right now, you can't put this Cubs team much higher than this because as of right now, Bellinger's gone, Stroman's gone. Like, they don't have guys. Their guys re-signed right now, and they haven't really made the move yet. I would still think that they're going to land like a Blake Snell, but overall, they just haven't done much yet. Like, we're waiting on the Cubs to do something. You know what I mean? Like, it hasn't happened yet. So for now, I'm going to put them here in mid. Angels can't go much higher. But it's almost like you look at this lineup and it's like, dude, they could still smack the ball around a little bit. Logan O'Hoppy's like a real major league hitter who came over from the Phillies, and I believe that was the Syndergaard. Nope, that was they made 2 trades. I believe O'Hoppy was traded for Marsh. Yes, O'Hoppy was traded for Marsh. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be terrible. Like, just because they lost Ohtani does not mean they're going to be terrible. To be honest, they're probably going to be right around the same record. I'll be completely honest. I would bet that they're going to be pretty much the same team. I'm not saying Ohtani's not a difference maker. He's the best player in baseball. It's almost just like this is how the Angels roll. They're going to be the same thing every single year to me, and that's where I think that they'll be. I hate to do it. This Cardinals team has to go in mid. They just are not as bad as their record was last year. They have to be better. Have to be. There's just no chance, man. Like, there's so much talent on the roster. They've gotten some pitching. They need to add more pitching. They need one more good starter. A Snell would be great for them. There's no way they're going to be as bad as they were last year. I cannot believe that they would be. I think this Giants team is mid. I don't think that they're mad. I think if they hadn't made the moves they have, they'd be there because their roster overall is not fantastic. New manager, I believe, it's going to be Melvin, right? He came over from the Padres, so it's going to be interesting to see what this team does. I would project around 80 wins, though. Mid. Oh, wow. The Mets are right on this fringe. I'm going to put them in mid. I think bottom of mid. They've got a good roster. They've still got talent. They still have a lot of payroll. It's almost just like last year. Not a fluke. I think this team is still kind of retooling, rebuilding kind of thing. But they're not terrible. You know what I mean? Like, they've got good major league talent and a decent rotation at the top, at least. They're top heavy. There's no doubt. They're top heavy because they trade away people. But this team can compete. This team can still win anywhere between 75 and 85 games to me. I think they've just got too much talent on the roster. Okay, I think we can move on. This one's really tough because I think the Diamondbacks roster is more mid, but it's like they just made the World Series. I'm going to put them in great. It just feels weird to describe them as great because I don't think that they are. I think they're one of the worst teams to make the World Series. It's tough, man. I like the Diamondbacks. I love Corbin Carroll. I love a lot of their players. It's just like they've upgraded. They've definitely upgraded. They brought in Eduardo Rodriguez. They brought back Lourdes Gurriel. I think they've done enough to deserve this spot in great for now. I can't put them any higher. I don't think they're elite or anything, but I can't put. It's a tough tier to put. I'm gonna put the Yankees in great. I think the Juan Soto thing really does put them up. We did the Yankees versus the world. They're like the 9th best team or whatever, something like that. 8th, 9th best team after that. So go check that video out. Not in the description. I'll put it up in the cards though. But yeah, I mean, this team, they'll compete. They'll probably be right around 90 wins again this year. Who knows? They might go off again this year like they did in 2020. I think it was 2022. No doubt this team can make a huge splash again. They can go out and get Bellinger. Not that they will, just because like they already got their outfielders, but like it wouldn't be surprising. It's the Yankees, you know what I mean? Like they can go out and make another splash. So we'll see what this team does. I think that they will be great. I think they'll be in the playoffs. Blue Jays belong there with them. This team is confusing. The projections absolutely love them. Oh my, the projections love the Blue Jays so much and their players. But there's something to be said about how they just have not won in the playoffs, like at all. They're on a sneaky, terrible losing streak in the playoffs. They had underperforming players. Vladdy has not been the same since his breakout, 2021, where he was insane, like unearthly, and he got not robbed of an MVP, but just unlucky because Ohtani was in the league. It's tough. You got underperforming players. Their rotation's great. I don't know if they can really add anything more, but they just re-signed Kiermaier and stuff. It's a good team. It's a good team for sure. We'll just have to see how they fare this year. 2 more for the great tier. I'm gonna put them together. It's so tough to do this. I love the Orioles. Orioles, I love you. Just get that out of the way. I love you so much. Adley is fantastic. I love Adley Rutschman. I love Gunnar Henderson. I love so many people on your team. I need you guys to do something. I need you to add another good bat or something, or another good starter. Something to get you into the elite. You've deserved our respect. You've earned our respect the last couple of years. You need to do something more for me, man. I can't put you in elite. And I'm going to do the same with the Rays. The Rays have just lost and lost this year. Wander's probably done. We're probably done with Wander Franco forever, which is just terrible, man. He was a superstar, and who knows, they might keep selling off pieces, but they're gonna compete. They're the Rays, you know what I'm saying? So it's really tough, but those 2 teams have to go there for now. They're not elite. Let's head to the elite. We'll start with the World Series champions. I mean, they just won the World Series. There's no way that they're not. You can't put them anywhere except for the elite. The roster's still great. Montgomery might be gone. Garver is gone. I was surprised. I thought they would re-sign Mitch Garver, but he's gone. They just got to hope that they get Montgomery back. And even if they don't, it's like mid-season, they'll have a great rotation again because their guys will be coming back from injury. Let's head to the Braves. Probably the best organization in baseball. Very smart. They know what they're doing very much. They're going to win a lot of games in the regular season. It's all going to be about, can they put it together again in the postseason? Because the last 2 times, it has been a no. And you can complain all you want. Oh, it's unfair. Other teams have done it. The Astros got it done in 2022. They won the World Series. So we'll go to the Astros. I was really contemplating putting them in the great tier, and then I realized they just made the ALCS again. I can't put them in great, not below the Orioles, because they're better. I think that they're better. They had an underperforming team last year. I'll be honest. I thought their pitching rotation underperformed big time. They got a Verlander this year. I get a full year again of him this year. We'll see how this team fares again. I would assume probably pretty well because they've still got a bunch of studs in their team. They need to extend Kyle Tucker. Let's do that. Let's head to the Dodgers. We know they got Ohtani. They've got Yamamoto now. The team is stacked. Can they put it together for the postseason, for full season? We'll have to see. And I am going to end with the Phillies. I think this team, it's like you think of them for their offense, but their pitching rotation and bullpen are projected to be number 1 in WAR this year. And last year, their pitching as a whole was number 1 in WAR. So you can take it with a grain of salt. It's one stat. Their pitching is very, very good. They've got Nola back. Even though it's the best, I need this team to get Blake Snell. I need one more starter. I don't want Christopher Sanchez really to be my 5 right now. I wouldn't even mind them getting back Michael Lorenzen, to be honest. I thought he showed some signs at times. He had a no-hitter at one time. It was kind of fluky, but like in the playoffs, he didn't look bad. I think that he's got potential to be good, and if he's our 5 starter, I don't think I mind very much. So I need the Phillies to get one more. That's the tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Peace.